Good morning, all our friends. Today on the curriculum calendar, we're going to be learning about the eastern states. I'm going to be reviewing 3 specific states that I think are important and have a lot of history. And we're going to learn about that. I'm going to show you pictures. But before I get into the lesson, I wanted to do the calendar, the weather, and sing the good morning song. So let's take out our calendars that we made and start with the days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and let's begin again. Sunday, 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 what comes after Sunday? Monday. All right, now we're going to count to number 18. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and today is 18. Today's Monday, May 18, 2020. Great. Now I made and I sent home a new weather chart for you guys to chart the weather, so you can take that out. And I already colored today's weather, but I wanted to show you what I hope you're doing at home. So let's sing the weather song. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather, all our friends? Is it windy? Is it cloudy? Is there rain or is there sun? Okay, there is a little sun in the sky, but it's mostly cloudy, and it was raining earlier this morning and last night. So I'm going to say it's a cloudy day. And what I went ahead and did was I wrote the date, May 18, and I drew clouds in my sky. And I colored them. So that is the weather today, cloudy. And then we'll do it again tomorrow, and I can draw with you, okay, friends? So now let's sing the good morning song. Get our hands ready. Good morning, good morning, good morning, all our friends. I love you, I miss you. Please sit down, let's begin. Good morning, good morning, good morning, all our friends. I love you, I miss you. Please sit down, let's begin. Great. So we're going to talk about the eastern states. So do you remember our USA map? And it has divisions along the map that have the different directional state groupings. So we have north at the top, east right here, south at the bottom, and west is where we live in California. So I'm going to be talking about the eastern states here. Some maps have the eastern states go all the way to Florida because it's the eastern coastline, but we're going to be talking about some of the 3 states that are in this region specifically, and they're a lot smaller, but I have a worksheet that I'm going to be sending home that has a larger picture of just this area for you to color and see the different states' names and their capitals, okay? Because it's really hard to see on this map. All right. Okay, so the first state I'm going to talk about is Rhode Island, which is the smallest state in the United States of America. It is only 37 miles by 48 miles long, so it's really small. And it's so small you can't see it on the map. But I have 2 worksheets about Rhode Island that are going to be sent home for you to color, okay? So Rhode Island are the first 3 pictures in this page. So we have a coastline here that I'll talk about, the flag of Rhode Island with the anchor because of the coastline, and a word that says hope, and I'll talk about that. And we have a carousel, and I'll talk about that, okay? The eastern states are really important because before we were the 50 United States, we were originally only 13 colonies of Great Britain. But we won our independence in 1776, and the 13 original colonies slowly became states, and then we expanded and became 50 states, okay? So Rhode Island, the smallest state, has the motto hope, which is what's on their flag. It's the symbol and word hope. Newport, Rhode Island is a city in Rhode Island that had the first circus in the United States in 1774. The official name of Rhode Island is actually longer than the name Rhode Island. It's Rhode Island and the Providence Plantation State. So the state motto again is Hope, and the nickname of Rhode Island is the Ocean State. And that's why I have this ocean picture here, the ocean coastline. It's nicknamed the Ocean State because it has the most coastline to the overall square mileage of the state. So even though it's a small state, it has a lot of coastline, a lot of beaches. In fact, every person that lives in Rhode Island is only about 30 minutes away from the beach. Okay, all the residents live really close to the beach. And there are only 5 counties in Rhode Island because it's so small. And of the 13 original colonies, it was the last to be formed into a state before the expansion. Okay? And this picture here is a picture of a carousel. It's the oldest carousel in the United States. It's called the Flying Horse Carousel, and it's located in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. So that's the oldest carousel in all of the United States. Okay, so that's Rhode Island, the smallest state. Okay, the next I'm going to talk about is Pennsylvania, which is, again, another small state that's along the coastline here. Pennsylvania has a city called Pittsburgh right here. It's known as the Steel City because it has a lot of steel factories and industries, and it has a lot of bridges. It's also nicknamed the City of Bridges. It has over 446 bridges, and this is one of the major cities in Pennsylvania. Okay, so also in Pennsylvania, I have these 3 pictures here. Okay, so the first picture is the World Chocolate Factory in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the state flag of Pennsylvania, and this is the Liberty Bell, which I'll talk about too. Pennsylvania is called the Keystone State because of its central location in the 13 colonies that were originally the United States. The state slogan of Pennsylvania is the state of independence, or the state of freedom. The Constitution of the United States, the Declaration of Independence, and the Gettysburg Address were all made in Pennsylvania. It was the second state to be admitted into the United States of America of the original 13 colonies. And the first ever zoo, the first public school, and the first commercial radio station were all formed in Pennsylvania. So it has the oldest and the first zoo in the United States, and the first public school. And Hershey, like I said before, is a city in Pennsylvania, and Hershey City has the world's largest chocolate factory, the Hershey Chocolate Factory, and it's called the chocolate capital of the entire world. The whole city smells like chocolate because of the chocolate factory that's there. Okay, finally, the Liberty Bell is also located in Pennsylvania, here in front of the State House. During the colonial times, when we were a part of Great Britain, it was given to the United States and it was shipped from Britain. And during the shipment, when it landed in the United States, in Pennsylvania, it cracked and it had to be recast 2 times. And then when we were fighting for our independence, we hid the Liberty Bell so that it wouldn't be taken. And then when we won our independence in 1776 and we were free from Great Britain, we placed the Liberty Bell in front of the State House. And that's where it is today. So those are the 3 pictures and some information about Pennsylvania. Okay, the last state I'm going to talk about is probably the most famous state in the East Coast, and that is New York. So New York is a state, but there's also New York City, which is a really famous city in the United States as well. Okay, so here are the 3 pictures that I have for New York, and I have some more here that I'll show you. And New York is, again, along the coastline. It's rather small, so you can't see. But on the activity I'm sending home, you have a bigger picture of New York and some objects to color, too. Okay, so New York, can you see? Okay. New York is nicknamed the Empire State, and it's home to the Empire State Building, which is in New York City. It was at one point the tallest building, but not anymore. Okay, it's also the 11th state to be admitted into the Union in the United States, and it's home to New York City, which is also known as the Big Apple and the city that never sleeps. New York City has a subway, and in that subway, it's the largest subway system in the entire world. New York City was the capital of the United States from 1785 to 1790, but now the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. I was going to talk about Washington, D.C., which is also along the east side of the United States, but it's not a state, it's just a city, but it's our capital. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, New York City is also home to the Statue of Liberty, which is here, and I also have another picture here. Okay. The Statue of Liberty was given to the United States in 1886 as a gift from France, and France gave it to the United States because both France and the United States had a dream and a desire for freedom. And the Statue of Liberty over the years has become a symbol of the entire United States, not just of New York State, because of what it stands for. It stands for freedom. There's a quote on the Statue of Liberty, which in short says, "Give me your tired, your poor, and your huddled masses, yearning to be free." So really, she's just a symbol of our freedom. And she has a torch that lights the way to freedom for people that yearn to be free. And New York is really special in that it has a lot of immigrants. People from all over the world immigrate to the United States for a better life and for freedom. And a lot of them come through New York. And also in New York, we have this building here called Ellis Island. And a long time ago, Ellis Island was a port where immigrants would come by boat, and they would stop at Ellis Island and sign in and yearn for a better life and enter into the United States through New York. Ellis Island is also in New York State, and again, it was an immigration processing center that saw 12 million immigrants in just 62 years. So in the matter of 62 years, it processed 12 million immigrants that were coming to America hoping for a better life. So that is also a symbol of freedom, and along with the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so this is the last picture I want to talk about. This is a picture of the One World Trade Center. It's kind of hard to see because the World Trade Center is made of all those windows and it's reflecting the sky. So it almost looks like it's a part of the sky. But this building is really special. It was built in 8 years, and it is the tallest building in all of the United States, and it is the tallest building in all of the Western Hemisphere of the world, and it's the seventh tallest building in the world. It's also nicknamed the Freedom Tower, and it's found in New York City. Okay, here is another picture of New York City, the city that never sleeps. New York City is really famous for being a global center for art, culture, fashion, and finance. It's the most populated city in the United States, which means it has the most people. And it has one of the largest immigration populations too, from people from all over the world that come to New York. Okay, so those are the 3 states I wanted to talk about along the eastern coastline in the eastern part of the United States. So for the activities at home, I have 7 worksheets going home, plus the weather chart. So the first worksheet has all of the eastern states that I want you to color. And it's a much bigger picture than this, so you'll be able to see all of the states, even Rhode Island, the smallest state, and their capitals. So you can color that. And then I have 2 worksheets for the state of Rhode Island. One is just the highlighted state, and then you're going to write the name Rhode Island. And then the second one is the outline of the state, which has pictures of the state flower and the state animal and landmarks too. And then I have 2 worksheets for Pennsylvania, again with the outline of Pennsylvania and objects for Pennsylvania, and then 2 worksheets for New York. So I hope you enjoyed learning about the eastern states and specifically learning about Rhode Island, our smallest state, Pennsylvania with the world's largest chocolate factory, and the ever so famous state of New York. All right. I miss you, friends. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll see you in the Zoom meeting. Bye.